Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here, as always, to give you that shortcut to getting well-informed. And today, that means tackling something really core to English fluency, the phrasal verb.
Specifically, we're focusing on 4 super common, but also, let's be honest, kind of tricky phrases. They all start with that simple verb, take.
Right. And if English isn't your first language, you definitely know the headache here. You have take, you add a tiny word like up or off or back.
And bam, the meaning just completely shifts. So yeah, today it's take back, take care of, take off, and take up.
The real challenge, and what we hear from learners, is that one phrase like take off can mean totally different things. Or we're talking about a plane, or my shoes, or maybe my business suddenly doing well.
Exactly. And just trying to memorize lists, that's not usually the best way. It's overwhelming.
But what's interesting, and what our sources really highlight, is there's often an underlying idea.
Yes. There's a kind of unifying theme. Even with all the different meanings, these take verbs, they're fundamentally about action. Things like movement, starting something, handling something, change.
Okay, so if we get the core action, the context helps figure out the specific meaning.
That's the idea. The context does a lot of the heavy lifting.
Right. So we're going to unpack these 4 key verbs, look at how they work, and hopefully give you the confidence to use them more naturally. Let's dive in. Maybe start with take back. That one seems like a good example of contrasts.
Yeah, take back is perfect. It really shows the split. So the most straightforward meaning, returning an item, physically.
Like taking a sweater back to the shop because it doesn't fit. Simple enough.
Exactly. The movement is literal, back to where it came from.
But then it flips completely, doesn't it?
It does. It pivots to something totally abstract, admitting you were wrong about something you said.
So saying, okay, you know what? I take back what I said earlier.
Precisely. And your question is probably, how does returning a physical thing connect to taking back words?
Yeah, what's the link? Seems like a big jump.
Well, the link is the concept of reversal, or maybe retraction. Think about it. In both cases, you're undoing something, reversing an action.
Okay.
You reverse the purchase by returning the item, and you reverse the statement by, verbally withdrawing it, taking it back into yourself, metaphorically speaking.
Ah, I see. So it's like a symbolic return. That makes sense. The shared idea is pulling something back.
Exactly. And it works for small things, like admitting someone was right about, the best coffee shop.
Right, like, okay, I take it back, your place is better.
Yeah, that kind of lighthearted stuff. But it also scales up to much more serious apologies or corrections. It's about accountability.
Physical return versus verbal accountability. That's a really neat contrast in one phrase.
It is. It's why these are so interesting.
Okay, so from retraction and reversal, let's move to take care of. This one feels like it's all about responsibility, right?
Absolutely. Responsibility is the key word here. And it has a few different shades.
The first one that comes to mind is probably the nurturing sense.
Yeah, the most common, maybe warmest meaning. Looking after someone or something.
Like, can you take care of my cat while I'm away? Or looking after a younger sibling. It implies attention, diligence.
A level of personal commitment, yeah. But then shift the context.
Yeah.
Put it in an office setting.
Right. Suddenly it's not about warm feelings. It's about getting something done.
Exactly. It becomes about management. Handling a task, executing it.
So my manager asks who's doing the report, and I say, don't worry, I'll take care of it.
You're signaling, I've got this, it's under control, I accept responsibility for seeing it through. It sounds confident, capable.
So even though one sounds nurturing and the other sounds professional, the core is still accepting responsibility for an outcome.
That's the thread connecting them, responsibility.
Okay. And then there's the super common, quick one.
Ah, yes, the farewell, take care.
Just a quick way to say goodbye?
It is, but it's not totally random. It's like a condensed version of the core meaning. You're essentially saying, look after yourself. Be responsible for your own well-being. It's a little wish for safety and responsibility.
Huh. I never really thought of it that way, but yeah. It fits the theme. It's not just empty words.
Not at all. It's quite efficient, linguistically.
Okay, let's shift gears again to take off. This one feels really energetic.
Yeah.
Always involves movement or change.
Definitely. It's very dynamic, the most literal, obvious one.
A plane leaving the ground. The plane takes off at 7. Upward movement. Departure.
Check. And then there's removing something, usually clothing.
Please take off your coat or shoes. So that's movement away from the body or downward.
Right. So we have up and we have away or down. But here's where it gets really interesting, metaphorically speaking.
The success meaning.
Exactly. When something, a business, a career, an idea, suddenly becomes really successful really quickly. We say, it took off.
Her YouTube channel just took off last month.
Yes. It's like it departed from its previous, maybe slower state and launched into success. The analogy is that rapid upward movement, like the plane.
I like that. It's a powerful image. The business launching into the sky that helps it stick.
It really does. And then there's the final, very casual meaning.
Just leaving.
Yep. Simple departure from where you are right now. All right, guys, I'm going to take off.
Quick, easy, super common.
Very. So literal flight, removing items, sudden success, and just plain leaving. All about movement and departure.
Okay, that covers a lot of ground. Which brings us to our last one. Take up. Usually when I hear this, I think about starting something new, like a positive thing.
That's definitely meaning A, the initiation meaning. Starting a new hobby, a new activity, maybe a habit.
I decided to take up gardening, or he took up knitting during the winter.
Yeah.
It feels proactive, adding something to your life.
It is. You're choosing to incorporate this new thing. But, and here's the twist.
There's always a twist, isn't there?
With phrasal verbs, often, the exact same phrase can mean something almost opposite.
Like consuming something, using it all up.
Precisely. Meaning B is about occupying or using up space or time.
So that meeting took up my entire morning. Or this giant sofa takes up half the living room.
Those are perfect examples. One feels like a positive choice. The other feels like, well, a drain or an occupation of resources.
So how do those two connect? Starting a passion versus consuming time or space. Where's the overlap?
The core idea, the sort of underlying action, seems to be absorption.
Absorption. How so?
Well, when you take up a hobby, you are absorbing that activity into your schedule, into your life. You're bringing it in.
Okay, I can see that.
And when a meeting takes up your morning, it's absorbing that block of time. When the sofa takes up space, it's absorbing that physical area.
So the subject is pulling something towards itself or into itself, whether it's a hobby or square footage.
Exactly. The action is taking in or absorbing. It's just the object being absorbed that makes it feel positive, a hobby, or potentially negative, all my free time.
That really clarifies it. It stops being two random meanings and becomes one core action applied differently. That makes it much easier to grasp.
That's the goal. Understanding the mechanism, not just memorizing.
Okay, so we've looked at take back reversal, take care of, responsibility, take off movement departure, and take up absorption, all linked by action or change. To really nail this down, maybe we could run through a quick scenario, show how these might naturally pop up together.
Great idea. Let's try one. Imagine someone telling you about their day. They might say something like, ugh, first I had to take back those shoes I bought, wrong size. Then, leaving the store, I saw my elderly neighbor struggling, so I stopped to take care of her shopping bags for her.
Okay, got the reversal and the responsibility.
Then later, I checked my phone and saw the tech stock I bought really took off today. Big jump.
Nice. The sudden success.
So, feeling good about that, I decided, you know what, I'm finally going to take up that offer for Spanish lessons I saw advertised.
Perfect. Return, look after, succeed quickly, start a new activity. All in one little narrative.
Yeah.
That shows how versatile they are in real life.
Exactly. They weave in very naturally once you're comfortable with them.
So let's do a super quick final recap, just the core contrasts to lock them in.
Sounds good. Take back. Think reversal.
Returning an item
Yeah.
or retracting what you said. I take back my comment.
Take care of. Think responsibility.
Nurturing someone or something, or managing a task.
Yeah.
She'll take care of the arrangements.
Take off. Think dynamic movement.
Plane leaving, clothes coming off, OR, importantly, rapid success. His career really took off.
And take up. Think absorption.
Starting a hobby or consuming time or space. Yoga took up all her evenings. He took up chess.
Right. Understanding that core action reversal, responsibility, movement, absorption, that's the key.
And practicing that. That's how your own English skills will really, well...
Take off.
Exactly. Couldn't resist.
Huh. Fair enough. So we focused a lot on the action side, the doing, the starting. But let's leave you, our listener, with a final thought. It kind of loops back to that tricky duality, especially with take back.
All right.
We've talked about what new hobby or skill you could take up. That's forward-looking, positive action.
Yeah.
But think about the other side of take back. What incorrect belief, maybe a bad habit, or even just a mistaken statement you made. What could you consciously take back today?
Ooh, that's interesting. So not just returning a sweater, but retracting something internal.
Yeah.
An idea.
Precisely. It involves that same combination we discussed. Reflection first, then action. Recognizing the error, And then making the reversal, it's a different kind of taking action.
That's a powerful thought to end on. Balancing the new things we take up with the old things we consciously decide to take back.
Something to mull over.
Definitely. Well, that's all for this deep dive.
Hope it was helpful. Take care.
Take care, everyone. We'll catch you next time.